morning. If you're seeing this, we are getting ready for our final introduction webinar for the week. My name is Jacob Timmons. I'm the support administrator for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. And our webinar will begin right at the top of the hour at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We like to sign on just a few minutes early to give everyone time to connect and say hello. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for connecting with us today. If you head up to the chat room and introduce yourselves, let us know where you're connecting from. Happy Friday to everyone. And if we happen to have anyone in Australia, happy Saturday. I doubt we do. But thanks for connecting, and head over to the chat room and let us know who you are and where you're connecting from. We'll be getting started here in just a few minutes at the top of the hour. Today we'll be reviewing, we'll have an introduction to the new imaginationlibrary.com website and its integration with your BOS and parent accounts. We'll go through those and hopefully anybody will learn a little something new today. And at the end of the presentation, we will have Q&A, and we'll make it quick as possible. We don't want to take up too much of your time today. We know it's Friday and everybody's ready for the weekend. So anyway, we'll be starting soon. Thanks again for joining. Good morning, Katrina. Katrina, where are you connecting from today? And Marcia, good morning to you. Where are you connecting from, Marcia? Katrina, Springfield, Illinois. How's the weather? It's a nice, cool morning here today. But I think we got sunshine finally. Yep, we got sunshine. Good morning, Sarah. Everyone, Sarah Chapman is in the chat room with us this morning. She is part of our support team. If you have any issues, Sarah can help work those out with you. Okay, Sarah, it's not that cold. It's not freezing. Good morning, Lorraine. Katrina, sunny and 23. Now that's cold, Sarah, for us at least. Good morning, Stacy. Hattiesburg. Marcia, Cannon County, Tennessee. Snowy and 20 for Lorraine. Snow. We love snow. Well, I love snow. I don't know that Sarah loves snow. Nothing like seeing the snow-capped mountains here in the Smokies is beautiful. So we've got about 10 minutes before we get started here. As I mentioned in earlier webinars this week, we have changed webinar platforms. So if you have joined us previously for a webinar, you'll notice we are now using YouTube Stream, and seems to be going good. We just want to connect a little earlier just to make sure things are going to go smoothly. And so far, so good this week with the YouTube streaming. So I think that's probably where we're going to stay for now. Arlene, 29, outside in Morristown, Indiana. Mary, 44, and sunny. I think it was 34 this morning when I left the house. But that was 3 hours ago, I think. So. For those of you just connecting, my name is Jacob Timmons. I am the support administrator for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. We'll be getting started here in just a few minutes with the introduction webinar of imaginationlibrary.com. And this will be our final introduction webinar for this topic and for the week. And so we appreciate you connecting with us this morning. We will go through this pretty quickly and have some Q&A at the end. Don't want to take up too much of your time this Friday. So hold tight. We'll get started here shortly. If you're just connecting with us and haven't done so already, head over to the chat room and introduce yourselves and let us know where you're connecting from this morning. We would love to see who we're talking with. Today, while during the introduction webinar, we will be covering just an overview of the all new website for imaginationlibrary.com. And we'll give you a glimpse into the parent account so you can see what a parent account looks like. And then we'll show you how the BOS is now more integrated into the imaginationlibrary.com website. It's all now one platform. Everything is imaginationlibrary.com. It's a global platform. As in before, we had different subdomains like USA.imaginationlibrary, and we had DPILBOS.com for the BOS. And all of that we brought in together under one main international hub under the imaginationlibrary.com. It's going to make things so much easier for everyone. There may be a little initial shock just to get used to the new design and the new feel of things, but we do feel comfortable saying that you will find that this new site and the new BOS are much, much easier to navigate, especially on mobile devices. The old one site and the old BOS weren't that mobile friendly, but of course, they had been around for many, many years. This is the largest upgrade in the history of the program. So yeah, lots of big changes. Good morning, Dan. Where are you connecting from this morning? Best in Business Awards, John from Huntsville, Alabama. Good morning, John. We've got about 5 minutes before we get started. Starting with the good audience this morning. So thanks everyone again for connecting. Dan from Warsaw, Virginia. Love Virginia. We've got family in Bristol. So we've got a few more people signing on right now, so give them time to get connected, and then we'll get started. Just as a reminder, this webinar is being recorded, and it will be posted. Actually, it already is posted in your BOS bulletin board. So if you or one of your colleagues needs to reference anything that we talked about, or that we're going to talk about today, it will be in your bulletin board for you to find very easily on your first page of the BOS. Warsaw is in the northern neck area near the Chesapeake Bay. Oh, okay. Okay. So how's the weather, Dan? I'd say it's a little chilly where you are today. Got a good group here connected. We got about 4 minutes. We'll get started. And as I mentioned before, maybe before you guys, some of you guys connected, we'll go through this pretty quickly. It won't take a lot of time. And then at the end, we'll have Q&A. And the Q&A, I'll let you know when it's time. Just put your questions in the chat room, and then we'll answer them in order. And we'll get to as many as we can. We usually try to get to all of them unless we run out of time, which isn't usually the case. So, and during the presentation, if you can think of a question, just go ahead and jot it down, and then send it to us in the chat room when I let you know it's time to do that. I'll give you plenty of time. Dan says chilly, low 40s. About the same as here now. It was in the low 30s this morning before daylight, but I think it's warmed up. We got pretty sunshine this morning. Finally. We've had those cold, drizzly, chilly mornings most of the week this week, so it was nice to see sunshine. So about 2 minutes before we get started, we've got several more people connected, and we got a little fly here that wants to join in today's webinar. A few more people connected. Welcome everyone. Thanks for connecting. If you haven't already done so, head over to the chat room, introduce yourselves, and let us know where you're connecting from. And no room for you, Mr. Nat. Not today. So Sarah, I'll try to keep the chat room and open during most of the presentation, but just look out for anyone that has any viewing or connectivity issues, just in case I don't see it, please. Sarah Chapman in the chat room this morning with us is part of your support team. So she can help you out with connectivity issues if you have any. Hopefully that won't be the case. Hopefully everything will run smooth and all will be good. Got about a minute. And we got 30 viewers in the chat room this morning. That's great. right, it's 10 o'clock. Let me head over to the printer here and grab something real quick, and we'll get started. Okay. Okay, here we go. So good morning, everyone, and thanks for connecting with us this morning. My name is Jacob Timmons, support administrator for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library in the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. And the purpose of today's live stream is to provide an overview of your all-new BOS 3.0 and imaginationlibrary.com. As most of you already know, we have just completed our largest system upgrade in the history of the Imagination Library program. The upgrade completes a seamless integration of the imaginationlibrary.com public-facing website with your BOS. For those of you not familiar with the BOS stands for Book Order System. Now, today we're going to review a list of additions and changes within both areas. As a reminder, we have a pre-recorded webinar specifically for the new BOS, which is embedded on your bulletin board, just in case you want to go a bit more in depth within the BOS only. And the bulletin board, for those of you not familiar with that area yet, when you log into the book order system, your BOS, the first page of that is the bulletin board. And it will always contain important information for you, as soon as you log in, so that you're always up to date with all the goings on. When there's not a lot there, that's good. That means things are running smoothly. But if we have something very important to tell you, it will always be on your bulletin board. So let's start with the all-new imaginationlibrary.com. I will head over here and share my screen with you. And here we go. Now, first, you're going to notice the all-new design that works seamlessly across all platforms, from desktop computers to tablets and mobile smartphones. In addition to the all-new design and responsive platform, the new website integrates parent areas and your BOS within its DNA. So let's just give you a look at how the all-new design works across devices. So here we have how your Imagination Library website looks on a regular desktop computer. You notice we have our main menu here on the top. And then we have our images, which is our hero slideshow. And below that, we have some information such as total kids registered. This is a live number that changes as kids are being registered daily, minute by minute. And then we have total books mailed. That's our total books mailed ever. And that changes every time we have a monthly process. Then, of course, we have information about our program. And then we have what we refer to as call to actions. Can I register my child? How it works, check availability. And we have our video journey of an Imagination Library book. And we've also integrated our Instagram channel. So folks visiting the website can now see our conversation going on in Instagram. And finally, we have our footer menu. This is for desktop users. At the bottom, we also have this arrow that you can click to scroll back to the top, so you don't have to use your mouse to do that. So you just click the arrow, it takes you back to the top of the page. Now, if we reduce our screen size, you'll notice the menu on the top is going to change, and then the structure of the page is going to change. And that's to conform so that the content is best displayed for smaller devices. So let's show you what that looks like. So you see everything is still there, but it's just stacked on top for easy mobile viewing. The one major change is the menu. So if you think about it, the menu here, you're using your mouse. And if you're on a larger iPad screen, you can use your hand, your finger, to make your menu choices. But when you get down to a smaller screen, you're always going to be using a stylus or your finger to touch. So this is going to be your mobile menu, and it's designed for easier touch navigation. Now, all of the menu options are still there. They're just embedded like so. So we have the About Us section. We click, and it shows all of the sub-menu items for that section. You click back, and it takes you back to the main menu. And that's the same goes for all of the sections of this menu and all of the sections for your BOS mobile menu. You can always hit the X to close, and it takes you back to where you started. I'll show you one more thing here. So if we were to go further down the page, just to show you kind of how things stack up as we make the page wider, notice how that content displays itself differently. So that is what responsive design is. So you might be working today on your computer at work, and then when you get home, you might say, oh, I need to register a child. I need to check something on the website on my phone or my tablet. And now you can do all of that using the same website address across different devices, and should be able to do that with ease. Now, let's go through our menu here. So our new menu is made up of 3 main areas. One area to introduce ourselves, one to introduce the program, of course, within each country, and one new area dedicated to news and resources. And the news and resources area is filled with community information, community resources, parent resource, and let's see, we also have our all new research area here, where you can easily scroll through, view, and download and print all available reports, surveys, and other documentation currently on file. So looking at this research area here, let me just show you something that's really cool. So Jeff Conyers, the executive director, has worked to put together all of, or compile all of the research available, research that's been done by the foundation and from other, many other resources. He has compiled all of the research documents, created a database, and that's what you're seeing here is a database full of those compiled documents you now have access to. So there are a couple of different ways to look through this database to find something that is necessary or that's valuable to you. First is the way we see it here, which is a spreadsheet form. You see all of the research here in alphabetical order, and then the explanation out to the side. And each of the documents is linked. So you can click this to actually get to that document, print it, download it, or just view it. And that holds true for this entire database. In addition to that, this whole database that you see here is downloadable beneath the database here. This is that database that we're looking at. So we can click that, and there it is on our screen, and we can download it, share it, whatever we want to do. And then all of the documents that are linked within the database are also available in these folders. And we're giving access to all of these folders. So you click on an individual folder, that's going to open up and you can access all of the content. So that's just tons of research, just shows, how successful this program really is. And this is all so helpful when you're trying to write a grant or trying to, get your program started or trying to maybe expand your program. And this area is, we know how valuable it is. We know how valuable it is to keep this content up to date. And Jeff and his team have taken on that task, and they're doing a wonderful job at keeping this updated. So keep an eye out with this section. There will be lots of new stuff to come. Now, going back to that menu, one final thing I wanted to show you is that we brought our blog in-house. Now, before we used to use Google's platform called Blogger, and now we brought all of our blogs in-house, and we will be publishing our monthly book list and all other latest news on our blog. So we have the October one here. Now we have all of this great creative control, so we can make it look cool and look a lot easier. It's a lot easier to understand which age groups and which titles and so on. So we brought this in-house, and our next blog will be the November book list. That'll be our next, that's the next thing coming down the pipeline. Excuse me. So let's move on from this section, and just wanted to make a note to keep an eye out for this section, because we've always got posts that we're working on, as I mentioned, the November book blog, and then Jeff and his team are always adding resources and research. Now, in our country-specific areas, you'll see some familiar titles, and when you drill down a bit further, you'll see we've upgraded the areas. So take, for example, the online registration process. So here under the Getting Started, we have everything broken out by country: US, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. If we go back up to the US, we click on Can I Register My Child? You're going to see the new registration process. Now, this updated registration process, I'll go through that so you can see it on screen. Saves the users lots of steps and hopefully cuts out of some of the confusion that viewers would experience in our previous registration process. So we're going to enter our information here and click check. If you notice, we didn't have to enter any personal details like the child's name or the parent name, anything that personally identifies you. None of that has been entered yet, because we want to try to tell you if the program is available before you have to enter such information. Now that we've entered and clicked to check availability, we see that it is available and that we can register in 3 different ways. And if we click on any of those ways, we're given the information that's necessary. So on location, I click there, and now I see the location address in which I need to go register. If I close that, I can click the register online as an option, and then that's going to give me my online registration. So let's click agree to terms of service, and we'll show you that you see all of the information that I've already entered is still there, and it's available, and automatically is going to lead me to the next step without even having to click. We know it's a proven science that when you reduce the clicks that it takes to make a conversion, then you increase the conversions. And in this case, increasing conversions means increasing online registrations. And that's the goal, to get more kids registered. So we'll close this, and then we'll start over. And you can start in any country, wherever you live. Now, if you choose a country that we don't have a program in, you're going to be given the option to be notified if that program becomes available. And then that information is stored in a database and then becomes part of your book order system. So let's say that I filled this information out so that I was to be notified when the program becomes available. And let's say you, as an Imagination Library affiliate, decided, hey, I'm going to offer the Imagination Library program in the area in which he lives. When you go into your book order system to add that area to your coverage area, you will see that I am sitting there waiting to be notified about program availability. And what happens is, well, not me specifically, you'll see there is a person. You won't see the person's name. Let me just make that clear. But you'll see that there is a person waiting to be notified. So what happens next is, if you add that coverage area to your coverage area and save, then all of the parents that are on the Starter Champion Alert list, all of the parents will be notified, hey, the program is now available and you can register this way. So that is a new integrated process that is going to be so helpful to everyone that has, wants to expand but can't expand yet. but would like to know, is the program a popular thing in that area? We can actually tell you now. Yes, there are 45 kids that are waiting to be registered in this area. And so that's just information that wasn't available in the past. It's so valuable now that makes it easier for parents to be notified, and it makes it easier for affiliates to better plan for expanding their program. Now, moving on. The next major enhanced area is the Find My Program area. So again, in the US, we click Find My Program. In the US, we have 3 ways to find your program. First, you can use the map to click. For the state of Tennessee, I just click. You see all of the affiliates for the state. And then you can actually do it by county. You can click on an individual county and it'll show you the affiliate for that particular county. And our next way is to just choose the list of affiliates and scroll through the list and choose the affiliate for yourself. Final way is, which I think is the easiest way, is to just enter your postcode 37862 and then hit search. And then there you have your affiliate. You can click learn more. And then that's going to take you to the affiliate's enhanced profile, where you can see information about that affiliate and their registration channels. And then you can always go back and search again. Now, the next enhanced area that we'll highlight today is the cost estimator. So if you are an affiliate or a potential affiliate and you want to see what the program is going to cost you to add a specific area or to add a specific amount of kids, to be more precise, then you use the cost estimator. What you do is simply scroll down here, enter the total amount of kids that you want to cost out over 5 years, click submit, and then we're going to display on screen what the program is going to cost you over 5 years. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is a responsive design, and so this much information will not fit on the screen of a small mobile device. So let me show you how that reacts to a smaller device. We'll just minimize this. So you see, it keeps the pertinent information, year 1 through 5, month 1 through 12, and the cost. And you still can print and download. But what it's done is it's taken out the percentages. Let me get to where it shows best. Taking out the percentages so that it fits on screen. And although it's not there on screen, it is there in your printable selection and your downloadable selection. Just another example of how that sort of information responds across browsers. So I invite each of you to go through and browse through the rest of the selections in the Getting Started section. There are lots other things there to see, lots of more enhancements, and lots of more new information that's not been available in the past. Moving still in reverse, the About Us section. This is where we introduce the world to the program with the new video letter from Dolly. In addition to the video letter from Dolly, we also have a full page dedicated to the program that contains a summary of its history and links to important content throughout the site for each country. Now, in addition to this, we also have the Meet Our Team, so that you can see the faces behind the names of all the people you communicate with daily, and from leadership to operations, regional directors. And via the sidebar menu here, you can also meet the board of directors. As you see here. And our very popular year in review section is still here. We'll have a new year in review come 2017 and or come 2018 for 2017. But all past year in reviews available are here and easy to navigate through. Oh, and there's one section that we've not had before, and that is the Dollywood Foundation. So meet the people of the Dollywood Foundation. Okay, so now, before we close, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how the site integrates with parent accounts. And let me just head over to my little login screen here, and I'll show you what the parent account looks like. One second. We'll go to user login, type in our parent information. And now, just as a reminder, this is a test account because we wouldn't want to share a real child's information for privacy reasons, but you'll get the picture. So here we've logged into a parent account. And the first thing we've noticed when we've logged in is that our email is invalid, and we know that. But if a parent has a bad email address, when they log in, they'll be notified of that and can update that right away. Next, we have our list of children. In this case, we only have one child listed. Click on the child. You see the child's name, their registration status, the date of registration, their birth date, the group they're in, the book that was most recently mailed, and their mailing address. The parents can, if they need to, update that address. And all of those updates come to your pending child area within the BOS. They can contact you by clicking this button. They can edit their own profile, as we saw in the beginning, and they can add another child. So there you have the parent area integration. Next, let's go to the, actually I need to go to the sandbox here. We'll go and log in as a main coordinator so that you can see how the BOS looks. Now this is our testing environment here, so it may look a little different from your lab environment, but just a few pieces of information maybe out of places. So we'll log in here. Now I'm logging in as I mentioned as a main coordinator, and the first thing I see on my screen is a list of affiliates that I manage, and all I need to do is select the affiliate that I want to manage at this time. So let's do TNJT Cobb. And here I am logged into the book order system. Now, if I want to switch my affiliates that I'm managing, I go up to my profile menu, switch affiliate, and then choose the affiliate I want to manage. And then there I am. Now, before I close and open up for Q&A, which I'm about to do, I'll show you the similarities and how the menus react. So if you remember on the Imagination Library website, we can go back to it so we don't have to remember. You see here, we have the two menus, the main menu here, and then the mobile menu. Well, that's the same case for the book order system. So here we have our daily operations menu, reports menu, our main menu. And then when we are on a mobile device, we have the mobile menu. All of the options are still there, just different ways to click to get to each option. The one important thing is your profile menu that you see here on the top right is on the bottom of your mobile menu here. So just one more time to do that. So the profile menu that's on the top right of your normal desktop viewing of the BOS is moved to the bottom of your mobile menu. So there you go. Okay, so now we'll open up for Q&A. If anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer as many as I can in the time allowed. We have zipped through that, so we should have time to do just that. And we'll go back over here. And hopefully you can see me now. All right, so I know there's a little bit of a delay. So if anyone has any questions this morning, I'll be glad to answer those questions. Otherwise, we can call it a day and get on with our Friday end of the week stuff. So just give it just a few more seconds. Perfect. Okay, so in closing, since we don't have any questions, that's good. That's a good thing. In closing, what we'll do is just very quickly go over a couple of pending things that are going on now related to the most recent upgrade. Um, there were 5 things. There were some issues with parent accounts. That issue has been resolved, and now there's a process in place correcting the issues, and that process will be completed by the end of the weekend. And so if you have parents that are having issues logging in, just let them know that the issue will be resolved by Monday morning. We know that's taken a long time, but it's 2.4 million accounts. So the process has to go through them one by one. There was an issue with the United States NCOA process, but those issues have been resolved. So if you still have any kind of weird things going on with the NCOA area, clear your cache, restart your browser, and you will be fine. Um, big note here: if you use our registration embed code, then you need to replace it because it is out of date. And the registration embed code is available within your BOS menu under website XML. Just go there, grab the code, replace what's on there on your website now, and that will fix the problem. Any affiliates that have login issues, send an email to help@imaginationlibrary.com. That's help@imaginationlibrary.com. And let us know what your username is, what your email address is, and we will help resolve any login issues as soon as possible. And actually, that's it. That's all of the pending issues that we have, all with resolutions. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.